What's up guys, welcome back to AFC Game by Game. I hope you're all doing incredibly well, as I'm sure you are, following Arsenal's 2-1 victory against Burnley this afternoon. It was a scrappy game. Let's get out of the way first. It wasn't the impressive, immaculate performance that I'm sure we were all anticipating going into the match, but it's a professional performance, and at this stage in the season, getting a win, getting 2 wins in a row in the opening 2 games is vital in my eyes. And given that we're doing it with so many young players starting, with so many new players coming into the team, I couldn't really care less that much about winning 3-4-0 in these early stages. Getting the wins is important. Of course, in these fixtures last season, we did pick up 6 points from 6, so it's not a massive improvement just yet, and we can't judge too much where this team is going to go based on these 2 results. But Burnley at home, given that they were going into this match on the back of a 3-0 hammering of Southampton, it has to be said, they were going into this game full of confidence, fully expecting that they could get something from the match. I think Sean Dyche in his pre and post match comments really made that quite evident, that they felt they could get something from this game. So we've done well, given the fact as well that I know that it hasn't really been highlighted by the media, but we went into this game with so many first-team players out. Dyche is another one to add to that list of players that wasn't in the team today. We've done it with a 33-year-old Monreal at left-back, who I thought was outstanding today. I thought he had a really, really good game. No Holding, no Tierney, no Bellerin, no Dyche, no Ozil. We've done really, really well to win this game, and it shouldn't be underappreciated that we've won away from home against Newcastle. We've won at home to Burnley, two good teams in my opinion. We've won these games with so many absentees, and it's fantastic that not only are the young players stepping up to the plate and bringing the game to themselves, but the fact that we've got so many new bodies coming into the team, and it's a very early stage in the season. We are doing it with so many players absent from the squad that otherwise would normally be in the team. So very pleased with how today's performance has gone. The options we had on the bench, fantastic. Pepe, Torreira, Callum Chambers on the bench today. Kolasinac came off from the bench. So great options that we've got there. And all round, I'm very pleased we've got the 3 points. Obviously, I would have liked a few more goals, and I think when Pepe came on, especially in that second half, when we really started to take the game into our own hands, I felt we could have got a few more goals. Probably should have done. Aubameyang had a great chance. Pepe had a few great chances. Nelson had a chance in the first half. Lacazette had a few chances. I mean, we should have won this game by a few more goals. But Burnley will feel that they should have got something from this game, in my opinion. They did have opportunities, and it would be wrong to say that we defended brilliantly. From corners, I was absolutely terrified. It was not comfortable at all from corners, from set pieces, from crosses going into the box. It was horrible every time, because they looked like scoring every time a ball was floated into our area. Leno, I thought, was very commanding. I thought he made an excellent save in that first half. Had a very, very good game, really picking up where he left off against Newcastle. He'll feel a bit disappointed that we didn't keep the clean sheet. But again, these players, someone like David Luiz coming into the team for the first time, I don't want to say he was entirely at fault for the goal that Burnley scored. I mean, it was a bit of a messy way to concede. Guendouzi should have made it 2-0 just before. Well, I say should have. It was a good save from Nick Pope, who made a couple of outstanding saves throughout the course of this game. Hats off to him, and it's good for the England team that there's a good young keeper coming through in Pope. But from an Arsenal point of view, it would have been great to see Guendouzi score. Would have been great to see Torreira and Aubameyang get those potential goals in the second half. Unfortunately, Pope was in the way there. But in this instance, Guendouzi had a great chance to score. Burnley countered really, really well, and it just all happened a bit of a blur, really. Maitland-Niles just got, kind of got caught out. I think he could have done better at closing down his man. The ball came in, took a ricochet off Ceballos, and then fell to the feet of Ashley Barnes, who put it past Leno to make it 1-1. Luiz, I think he completely lost Ashley Barnes, and I'm going to give him a free pass in this game, because to be fair, I think he did some very, very good things. He is no nonsense. He clears the ball when he needs to. There were a few times when the ball was potentially going back to Leno, and Luiz just kicked it out of play, which, if you saw the game against Crystal Palace last season, as I'm sure you did, then Mustafi would have made that kind of error. And it's interesting to see Mustafi's omission from the team, and I think it tells you everything you need to know about his future at Arsenal Football Club. The same for El Neni, who wasn't in the team today as well. I think those 2 players are hopefully going to be moved on from Arsenal in these last couple of weeks of the European transfer window. So that's encouraging from a business point of view, I suppose. Hopefully we can get those players onto new clubs. But Luiz, I mean, interesting debut, positive for the most part, good tackles, good clearances. Ironically, I thought Socrates was the better one at playing it out from the back of the 2 of them. I thought Socrates had a solid game against Newcastle and picked it up with another solid performance today. I thought he had a really good game. Monreal at left back, I thought he was outstanding for a 33-year-old. He looked really, really good in my opinion. Maitland-Niles at right back. struggled in that second half. I thought he had a pretty decent first half, but wasn't the amazing performance that he put in against Newcastle. The midfield was probably our weakest point in today's game, but I thought it actually did quite well. Joe Willock, I thought, played really well. Guendouzi, I thought, had another very solid game. Ceballos in front of them was sensational. He really does seem to be like a new and improved version of Santi Cazorla. Well, maybe not an improved one, but he is exactly what Santi Cazorla was for us, with his own unique spin on things. He's kind of like an Ozil Cazorla hybrid, and he's got the eye for a pass. The ball sticks to his feet like glue. Should be noted as well that he did lose it a couple of times in dangerous positions, and against Liverpool that could be costly, but for the most part it was really, really good how the ball stuck to his feet. The same with Willock as well. Both of those players I thought were excellent, and in my humble opinion, I honestly think Willock's ceiling is higher than Jack Wilshere's was when he was 19. I think the world is Willock's oyster. He has got so much potential, so much talent, and I'm really excited to see him develop at Arsenal Football Club. And it's got to be said as well that we had a very young team start today. I don't think it's something, because these players feel like they've been around for ages, it's not really being picked up on. But Maitland-Niles, 21, Willock, 19, Guendouzi, 20, Reiss Nelson, 19, Ceballos, 23. Very young team, very, very young core of our team there, and it's great that we've got these academy products coming through, especially in Maitland-Niles, Willock and Nelson, to see players from Hale End come into the starting 11. I mean, how many other teams this weekend will be able to say that they've got 3 academy products starting in a Premier League game? I think we'll be one of few, so really positive on that front. And then to give younger players like Ceballos, like Guendouzi a chance, it has to be said it's really, really positive. And we should as well keep a rational perspective that these guys are very young and they are going to make mistakes, they are going to have the odd poor game, but it's great that they've got so many experienced heads around them. And I think it has to be said for someone like Reiss Nelson, who, I don't want to sound harsh, but I thought he was quiet today, and I do think he failed to make an impact on the game. But he is 19, and it has to be remembered that he's got a lot of developing to do still. It might be a couple of years before we see Reiss Nelson really hit his stride, but he's learning off some of the best players in the league, in Aubameyang, Lacazette, Nicola Pepe. Pepe, who came on, by the way, he just really tore it up. He was really, really good when he came on. Direct, driving at the Burnley defence, eye for a pass, really skillful. He's everything that we've needed in a proper wing, and I'm so excited for this guy to start playing for us on a regular basis. Has to start against Liverpool. He's just too good to have on the bench. I would have liked to have seen him release the ball earlier, but the skill he's got, the skill he possesses, if he can just get that final ball right, he's going to be a monster in the Premier League. And yeah, it's exciting. It's really, really exciting seeing him and Bella on our right hand side in hopefully a couple of months' time. Mouth-watering prospect, and then to have Aubameyang through the middle, it's going to be good. The one downside for me today, I mean, there are a couple of negatives I don't really want to pick up on too much, but I don't really like the idea of Aubameyang playing out on the right hand side. I don't think he was anywhere near as effective as he was in that game against Newcastle last weekend. I thought he did so much better at leading the line at St James's Park as opposed to today, where Lacazette led the line. Got a great goal, Lacazette, really, really good goal. And Aubameyang did still get his goal today. It has to be said, first of all, Lacazette's goal, the way he held off about 3 or 4 Burnley players and then got the ball into the back of the net whilst he was on the floor, tells you everything you need to know about what kind of player he is. I thought he had a quiet performance apart from that, but it was great that he got that goal. Great for his confidence on his first Premier League start of the season, so really, really pleased with that. Aubameyang's goal in the second half, brilliant, and I think he is a bit more effective cutting in from the left as opposed to the right, because he can go in, cut into his on his favoured foot and then put a goal into the back of the net like he did today. It was a brilliant goal, and hopefully we can get a working relationship sorted between Lacazette, Pepe, Aubameyang, because on paper it is such a good prospect. But I do think at times it was a bit disjointed today, especially in that second half when we saw it kind of in full flow. These players are getting to know each other a bit more. As I say, I'm not a fan of Aubameyang on the wing, but somehow we've got to shoehorn these players into the team. But yeah, it's an exciting prospect for sure. It's really, really exciting. One thing that I do want to pick up on is the omission of Callum Chambers from the starting 11. I was devastated by this, to be brutally honest. When I saw his name not on the team sheet, I was really disappointed that Emery wasn't letting him pick up where he left off from that game last weekend. And first of all, I can understand Emery's thinking that he wanted to see what Luiz and Sokratis could do together, considering we've got not only Liverpool but Spurs on the horizon as well, when he might view that as our most experienced and our most senior centre-back partnership. Whether that's our best partnership, I'm not entirely convinced. I honestly think Callum Chambers should have started today, and I do think our potential best centre-back pairing could be Luiz Chambers, hashtag not hashtag, slash Luiz Holding. So, I mean, that being said, Socrates had a great game today, and I maybe would have picked up where I'd have left off with Socrates and Chambers at the back, or Luiz and Chambers. As I said in my preview, I'd have gone with Luiz Chambers. I don't think Chambers is the one that deserves to be dropped today, and I'm pretty certain he won't get a start at Anfield. I think it will be Luiz and Socrates again, but I don't think Chambers has anything to prove to anyone at the minute. I think he had a very good game against Newcastle, and I think when he gets his chance in the team, which will hopefully be soon because I think he deserves it, he'll put in the astute performance that he did against Newcastle. But I do worry what this could do to his confidence. He's professional and he should know that there's competition within the team, but having played a great game away from home against Newcastle to then be left out of the team at Burnley at home, he'll probably be thinking, you know, what's going on there, and hopefully Emery would have had a word with him before the game and said, look, this is why I'm doing this, etc, etc, and hopefully that won't have knocked Callum Chambers' confidence too much. But it's exciting that we've got options, and Emery's really given himself something to think about ahead of next weekend, not just in defence but in midfield and in attack. If Xhaka comes back into the team, will he start against Liverpool? Because, I mean, the midfield looked pretty good today, it has to be said. I think Willock's definitely going to start against Liverpool. I really think he has. Maybe Torreira, Willock, Ceballos could be a good midfield three to start in that game. That could be really exciting. And then up front, I think it's got to be Lacazette, Aubameyang, Pepe. I really think we've got to go for it against Liverpool. And it will be an exciting game, but focusing back on today's match, living in the present for the minute. 3 points, 6 points out of 6. Good win. Really good win, in my opinion, considering we've done it with so many players out. Let's take these good vibes into Liverpool and get a win. But yeah, get a win, get a draw would be good at least. But I mean, we've got the credentials to win if we bring our A game. Let's think positive. Anyway, guys, please do drop a like on this video if you have enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comments box below. Subscribe to AFC Game by Game if you are new to the channel. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll speak to you very, very soon. See you later, guys.